Hey everyone, that technique you just heard I've been doing for many years. I was a guitar teacher. I had students all week long for years, and I've played bass in bands, and I've sort of taken the opposite path as most bass players. I learned how to slap and pop on my guitar first before learning how to do it on the bass. It was something that I can't claim I authored or came up with myself. Years ago at GIT, there was a guy named Todd Duane who worked in the library, and he kind of taught, I think, off and on, and he had this little handout that was titled Slapping and Popping on Guitar, and I kind of took that and made up my own stuff, which is a little bit of what you heard in the beginning of the video. I found it very useful for using with a looping pedal. You can loop a bass line and then play some funky chord stabs and then solo over that and do whatever. It served me well through the years, and like I said, when I go and sub as a bass player, I use a lot of those techniques, you know. So I wanted to finally, after all these years, do a video on it. I remember I did a video, a student recorded me a long time ago, and it got 10,000 views right out of the gate, but a lot of down likes because people were expecting a lesson. So here I am many years later, finally breaking down this technique. Slapping and popping on guitar. So first, let's talk about some nomenclature. You're going to see some tab and a key up on the screen here. Basically, if you see a 0, that means an open string anywhere on the tab. Pretty simple. Use the knuckle of your thumb and hit the open E, and that would be represented as a 0 on the strings in the tablature. An S would be a slap with the left hand. So if I did 0 on the open string, and then I went and slapped with my left hand, that would be an S. Open, slap. I do a dead hit with my left hand. Pretty universal stuff for a bassist that plays slap and pop style. The next move would be an X, which is basically once you have those strings deadened by a slap with the left hand, you use the knuckle of your thumb and hit the dead strings. So 0 SX would look like this. Once again. And you can do that on any string. So I encourage you to experiment. Now the other move is also a 0, but it's a pop on the higher strings, where I take my first and second finger of my right hand and I do a pop on the higher string. So if we had 0 on the low E, and then an S, left hand slap, followed by an X, dead hit with the right hand using the knuckle of the thumb, followed by a 0 on the high E, it would sound like this. I've written up some tablature, which you can see on the screen now, and it basically goes like this. I recommend going very, very slow until you've committed this to memory and burned it into muscle memory. When you feel confident with it, use a metronome, set it at a comfortable tempo so you can play it with good feel and cleanly. I'll kind of make my own metronome with a loop here and demonstrate. So there you have it. I would just take that sequence and again play it 5 minutes very slow. It's going to be the most boring 5 minutes of your life, but it's getting it burned into your nervous system, so to speak. Then start with a metronome setting very slow. Play it only as fast as you can to keep it in time to where it's musical, and practice that for 5 minutes and then increase speed as you desire. You're going to start to see that these concepts, you'll do broken pieces of this pattern, because this pattern is really like a drum fill. It's a little too busy, I think, to play through like a whole song. It's really just an exercise, kind of like you learn maybe 10 difficult words, 3-syllable words in school, and then one day you're having a conversation and this word comes out. And that's kind of the way this works. You kind of learn the principle and it just shows up one day, and it's a lot of fun to do with a looper, but it's also fun to do a break and just turn on your clean channel and start popping one of those out. So hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment. I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you. Thank you.